Hello Sedge Army and welcome to the first episode of Faction Tips, where I'm going to be sharing my knowledge with you, all my faction knowledge with you, and just sharing some little tips. Like, I've been seeing a few YouTubers do some of these, and you know what, I really want to share my knowledge, because I think I'm pretty good at factions and I do play it a lot, so yeah. And guys, if we can smash 2,000 likes, I will try upload another one as soon as possible. And also, if you guys want to see me do some stuff, tell me what you want to see in this series, and I'll try educate myself on it if I don't know what it's about, but tell me what you want to see, and I will sure do it. So I'm not sure how long this series is gonna be, but it could be 4 episodes, but the way I want to do it, I want to structure it so that it's how you join, it's how you would do it when you join a server from the start. So it's gonna start off with the basics and stuff like that, and then start to get into it. Also, just a reminder, these tips are going to be a little bit altered to Psycho PvP, but they work on most servers. Psycho PvP isn't, the Psycho PvP network isn't that different from most faction servers. It's just going to be a little bit altered to it though. Okay, so let's get into this. So, first things first, if you're going to be playing factions, obviously you got to choose a server. So, the server I play on is Psycho PvP, which is play.psychopvp.com. The IP will be down in the description. But anyway, choose a server that you want to play. It could be any server, doesn't have to be this server, but this is the server I play on. And I like it. Maybe because it's my server. Alright, let's join it. Bam! Alright, we're joining the server. Here we go. Okay, so once you're logged in, you're going to want to choose a server. Now, I play on this server, which is a skeleton realm. So I'm going to go onto this server because it's my server. So, here we go. So when you join a server, you know you're going to be met with all the rules. Make sure you read all this, but this is not what we're going to be going in today. We're not going to be doing the basics. We're just going to be showing you what you should really be doing, but just make sure it's common sense just to read all these. Make sure you do and educate yourself, and then once you get the spawn, you are on your journey pretty much. You'll hopefully get a kit and you'll be on your way. So in this episode, I'm going to be showing you the best bases you can make on claim bases now, because when you join a server, you probably won't have the resources to make a claim base, and I wouldn't suggest doing it unless you do have the resources, but usually when you join a server, you really don't. So on-claim bases can be annoying because they can get raided fast, or they could be there for 2 weeks, or maybe even the whole map. You never know. You can just get lucky sometimes. It's just all about luck. But there is some bases that can help you stand for longer, pretty much. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so when looking around, this is what a lot of people would do when they first start out. They build a simple base like this. Now, you might be thinking, what's wrong with this? It's a nice base, but it's just going to get raided. It will not last long. It's a shiny base. X-rayers are going to see it within seconds, and they will be all over it. And also, we got to think about the entity tactic, which I will explain in a little bit, and how to defend against it and stuff. But this is like a typical base that someone would build when they first join the server. This is not what you want to do. So, you might be wondering, what do I do so? Well, I'm going to show you. So, these are some of the best bases you can build that will hopefully stay alive for long. But the first base is typical sky base. Now, sky bases are good because they do not render in at all. Like, if I'm down here, look, whoop, they do not render in, as you can see. And also, you might be wondering, why is there signs over them? You need to put signs over them, because most servers now allow minimap, and if you don't have signs over them, people will be able to see the sky base. Now, it's not 100% going to protect it, but it makes it just less visible, because it makes it transparent for some reason. But if you build in a sand biome, it will make it probably 100% invisible. It would be very hard to see, unless it's a very big sky base, and yes, people will be able to see it. But sky bases are probably your best one to do. So the second base is a dispenser vault. Now, these are very good because Chest Finder and X-ray a little bit don't. Chest Finder, they don't doesn't look for it, I don't think. Now, I think there is some chest finders that do go for dispensers, but not a lot of them right now. I don't think go for them. I don't really know. I haven't educated myself, but usually when you have bases like this, they last for a very long time. Like, this is one of the best bases to build also. Also, with people X-raying, they're kind of less likely to see this than a normal base, because it's just kind of black down at the bottom, and it's just kind of dark. So, and it's not as bright as a big base with loads of chests and everything like that. So it is better. But for extra protection, adding lava around your dispenser vault makes it nearly invisible most of the time. But just make sure that you don't make it a square, like a square or like a bit weird, because what most people do, they just cover their base in obsidian and they have like a square room, a big square room. Try and make the roof as small as possible. So like I would recommend doing that, like just so it looks a bit more natural, because you can see like with X-ray and stuff, you can probably see the bigger rooms and stuff, and then also make it so that it looks a bit like a cave kind of, because if it's just square, it looks weird. So the third base that is very common, and it's alright, it's not as good as dispenser vault, but some people don't really like the dispenser vaults due to the dispensers being very annoying to open and stuff, and it doesn't store as much. These bases are good, but they sometimes do get found quite a bit more than compared to in a dispenser vault. But I guess these bases do work well. So the fourth base is like a stash kind of base. Now, like, just remember, these bases are all for when you're just starting out and you don't really have a ton of resources. So these bases can do well, but I would recommend putting them in paths where people wouldn't usually take when looking for raids, because if someone with X-ray, they will spot this like straight away. So you might be like thinking, you're just on the surface, what kind of base is this? Now, it's kind of like a base like this, where every time you like come to this place, you open up your chest, and then once you're done, you refill it. And usually don't worry about putting dirt over it, because usually the grass grows back pretty quick now, so don't worry about it. And there should be another chest there. But yeah, you also got to remember where your chests are, because if you don't, it can be pretty awkward. But this base can be pretty good. Just make sure you don't put it like, you know, straight in the middle over here, because people are probably going to run along this. And all you need is one person with X-ray to come along, or some sort of hack, and they'll see it straight away. So you can make many versions out of this base pretty much, like literally many, and to be honest, sometimes these can be some of the best bases, and these can be used as vaults, but they make no sense. This is another amazing little thing that you can do. Say you find these a lot around the world, these little like lava little places right here. Put some chests underneath the lava, and I bet they. The only thing is you gotta remember where they are. I bet this will not get raided for a very long time, maybe not even raided at all, because the reason why I'm saying this, I had a base like this a while ago. Had it until the end. Literally had it until the end. Never got touched. So these can be some this is a pretty good base right here, but like obviously you gotta be careful that you don't chuck your stuff into lava, or yeah. So the last kind of little hidden base that I would recommend would be a tree base. I wouldn't recommend it so much, but it's kind of a 50-50 game, because you know, you're kind of hoping for someone not to come along with fancy, because if someone has fancy on, look, bam, you can see that straight away. But if you see it with fast, it's literally invisible. Like, it is invisible. You can't really see it unless it looked kind of weird. Even though the tree does look a little bit weird, I will be honest. But nothing that if I ran past it now, I wouldn't be like, oh my god, well that looks super weird. But the best place would be to build it, which I was looking for, but I couldn't find one. It would be a jungle, because it's not in your like line of sight, pretty much. So, you know, you're not going to see it as much. And if someone has fancy, there is a chance they're not going to see it. And then also, jungles can be very dense with a lot of like kind of branches or leaves and stuff like that. So, you know, they can be really good places to actually hide them. So really, they're all the bases that I recommend and that you can mess around with. Now, you can do these in the nether. The end is really a luck game, to be honest. Like, if you're gonna build like an unclaimed vault in the end, I would just recommend building it as small as possible, because, you know, the smaller, then hopefully they won't see it. So I'm just gonna add something quick. If you guys you guys might be wondering like, what am I gonna do with my farms? Now, I'm gonna show you what to do with farms, because obviously every server you need like a farm to actually make a bit of money. So I'm gonna show you what you can do with your farms while also having your vaults. Okay, so let's just say that this is my farm base. Now, most servers let you away with 2 set homes. If they don't, that's just a bit mean, to be honest. If they don't let you have 2 set homes. So let's just say this is your farm base. All right, now granted I do have a very simple farm setup, but you know, even if you have a grinder setup, this will hopefully work. So there's no way you protect them. People are gonna see this no matter what. But if you just leave it like this, if you make your farm base the most simplest thing ever, like don't really add any chests, kind of keep the chest in your vault and go back and forth, and just keep it very simple. Now, if an X-rayer does see it, they'll be most likely just like, there's nothing there, like I don't even see a chest. And then also, when you're done for the day, I would suggest like taking up whatever spawners you have in that base. So just pretty much keep your grinder base simple, very simple. Obviously you might have some chests there for automated machines, but just keep it like that. No making your base look shiny or fancy, you know, just keep it very simple. And nice. Because with hope, they will hopefully just like go, meh, there's no point going for it. So it's just the best chance to not get raided. Like you might get like a person when you might come back online, say I might come back online, I might see this. Like I might come back online and see someone that's done this. Like they've just literally dug down, they saw it, they just kind of give a bit of a grief and they just left. That's it. That's all they might do. So guys, there's my little tips for today. So in the next episode, I'm going to be showing you how to actually find raids, because that's the next thing that you would be usually doing. So guys, if you want to see that, let's go for over 2,000 likes. And I hope you guys enjoyed these little tips. I know that most of you probably knew these, but you know, hopefully there's someone out there that didn't know about some of them bases, and also that last base a lot of people don't use that people should really use. So guys, I shall see you tomorrow.